Hello, and welcome to my channel, or welcome back. Today, I asked my followers on Instagram to submit requests for what they would like guidance on in a reading, and by popular demand, my viewers have requested guidance on everything. So this reading is in fact going to fix your entire life, so pay attention because this will solve all your problems. Alright, firstly, incense. So I get the sense that you need to take up some sort of spiritual practice and some sort of meditative practice in order to hone in on your focus and energy. So I get the sense that if you feel very aimless and undirected in life and you feel like you need guidance on everything, I think it's really important to have these quiet moments of contemplation with yourself in order for you to figure out what it is that you want from life. Spiky ball. Okay, so I get the sense that if you really feel like you don't know where to go in life and you need help with everything, like just nothing is going right, I get the sense that you're being weighed down by some sort of concern at the moment. So this concern is probably something that you've inherited very early in your life and has been holding you back for many years. So this is like some sort of burden, and it could be an emotional or a physical burden. So I feel like what this card is telling you is that you need to be severing that tie and taking off that weight, that burden that has been afflicting you for so long. And so I think that the most important thing in relation to this card is actually going to be figuring out what exactly your spiky ball is. Because obviously, if you knew what it was, you would simply drop it. Or maybe you have a little bit of resistance to dropping it because you don't see it as a spiky ball. You see it as perhaps a round, squishy ball. So I think it's really important to see things for what they are and understand what is holding you back in life right now. All right. So I think it's really important to emphasize that if you feel really powerless and out of control in your life, I think that it could be that you've been absorbing too many messages from popular culture and social media, which is telling you that the world is falling apart and you have absolutely no power or no control over your life. And I think that this is simply not true, and you should really realize and take your own power in life, in that your life can be anything that you want it to be. It's just a matter of figuring out how to attain those goals and being in that mental state on a day-to-day basis. Okay, rock. So I get the sense that maybe you've kind of been in the state where things are not changing for you, or you feel like you've hit some sort of barrier that you can't overcome. So I feel like with a rock, it's saying that there's something in your path, or perhaps you've gotten stuck at a certain obstacle. So this could be something like a dead-end job, or perhaps a relationship that's holding you back, or it could simply be a mental barrier of not believing that you're capable and competent and that you deserve other things in life, like these better things in life that you're aspiring towards. So perhaps if you feel very aimless and undirected in life, it could be that you simply need to take that leap of faith and overcome this rock, this obstacle, because although it may seem like a massive boulder blocking your path, once you shift perspective a little, it'll turn into a little pebble that you can just simply kick out of the way. All right. Some more guidance on everything. Okay, shield. So I get the sense that what you need to do in life is really focus on building up an energetic barrier. So I feel like if you feel very afflicted by a day-to-day life and everything that you encounter is really challenging you, I feel like this has to do with your energy and the fact that maybe your energy is not protected. So maybe negative thoughts, comments, and situations really get to you and really attack you at your core. So I get the sense that by developing your energetic shield, you'll be able to repel these unwanted negative feelings that can really tear you out of your day-to-day focus. So how to do this is by visualizing a field of energy, and this could be like any color that you want, like whatever color you want your shield to be. And whenever some sort of negative energy afflicts you, see it as some sort of arrow being deflected, or perhaps a cloud of smoke that's being kept out by this beautiful cloche of light that is surrounding you. All right, bandage. So I get the sense that you have some wounds that you need to heal. If you're struggling with everyday life and everyday encounters, I get the sense that there's something in you that is constantly being triggered. So this could be something to do with decision making, or it could be how you relate to other people, or it could be how you see yourself in the world. And these are generally wounds that are established very early in life. So I get the sense that in order to overcome these barriers that you have to everyday life, you need to go back to these deepest, basest wounds and really fix them. All right, so I feel like this is looking really good for you because although you may feel like everything is a struggle, I feel like there's so many actions that you can take in order to overcome these problems. And it really is all in your hands. All right, mirror. So I get the sense that if you're struggling with things, you may be projecting a lot onto these things in your life, like your job or like other people, and thinking like they are causing this negative reaction in me. These things are holding me back. It's these societal structures that are holding me back, which could be true to some degree. But at the end of the day, when you think about the actions that you can take and what is in your control, it's very important to look at yourself and really consider how you're conducting yourself in social situations, what your daily routine looks like on a basis of like taking care of yourself and getting your life in order and making progress towards your goals. And also really considering like what are your traits that are actually going to help you succeed in life and approach your goals. So if you really feel completely undirected, I think it's a great idea to really get a sheet of paper and a pen, and you're going to write down like these traits about yourself that make you stand out from the crowd. These certain skills that you've acquired over time and just sort of traits that are just completely unique to you. And I think that a fun activity to do is like play it up like it's kind of a video game, right? If you were a video game character, like what would your stats be in like strength and dexterity, intelligence? What are your special skills, your powers, your attacks? And I think that by doing it this way, you'll start to notice like things about yourself that you didn't realize were such valuable assets in the world. All right, soup. Okay, so I get the sense that if you're struggling with things, it's very important to like come back to your base needs, right? Because if you feel completely unregulated on a daily basis, it could be that your basic needs are not being met. So things like eating nourishing meals and sleeping enough and just like bathing and that sort of thing, those are really important things to focus on. Just get them out of the way, and you'll realize that other things start to fall into place. And I know it can be a little bit difficult trying to balance these things because maybe you feel like I need to make this progress in my career and I need to be working so hard doing all these things. And by doing that, you're neglecting these very important things in life, like eating 3 meals a day and like eating nourishing, healthy food. All right. Focus. Okay, I think this relates to a lot what I've been saying, is that you just need to really know what you want from life. And if you're just kind of spinning in circles and spinning your wheels, it's because you don't have a destination, right? You're just kind of going around and maybe the days all seem to blur together and you really don't know what you're working towards. And I get the sense that this focus will give you so much direction in life that you'll know exactly what you want. And perhaps this is not something like literal, like a exact dream job that you want or something like that, but it could just be more like what your focus is in a really like how you're living out your days, like what your day-to-day experience is like, what your comfort level is like, you know, when you come home at the end of the day, what is that experience like? And I think that when you focus on what your life looks like in that way, I think it becomes a lot more manageable to sort of take these next steps towards that, rather than really making it something like a literal material goal that you're trying to attain, but you're really thinking about your energetic and emotional goals. All right, I think this is sounding really good for you. I feel like you're going to be getting a lot more direction in your life soon, but of course it really depends on the actions that you take. So if you really are looking for more direction in your life, it's really important to take the actions that will give you these results. You can't simply just sit around doing nothing, because the direction won't come from doing that. All right, snap. So I get the sense that this really relates to community. So I get the sense that if you're feeling a little aimless and you're kind of like working alone, I feel like it could be good to meet with some like-minded people and kind of get a sense of what they're doing in their careers. And I know that this can be actually really difficult because even if you know people who are quite like-minded, perhaps when you spend time together, you're not really talking about these sorts of topics, because I think that a lot of people really like to avoid thinking about the true things that they want in life. So maybe you're just kind of talking about popular culture, or what movies have you seen recently, or perhaps you're just on your phones or that sort of thing. And I think that this is a sign for you to take the step that really you are the one asking these questions, asking people what they really want their lives to look like. Because I think that a lot of times when people ask themselves this question, it actually makes them stop and think, like, this is kind of what I've been doing on autopilot of what I thought I wanted from life. But when I really ask myself, what do I want my life to look like? A lot of people can't actually give you that answer. So I get the sense that you are the big snat and you've got your little snats around, and you've already been doing this hard work of really interrogating yourself and asking yourself what you want from life. And now I think it's your turn to tap into the people around you and really try and get the same results from them. All right, So again, this relates a lot to the last card in that I think that there is a communal aspect to finding direction in your life, because of course, it can feel quite isolating in this world, and especially if you have a very individualistic values instilled in you of being like the only one of like these unique qualities and that sort of thing, right? I think that it could also be important to recognize that at the end of the day, we're all walking the same path and we're all encountering these same roadblocks and challenges and rituals. So I think that the tea ceremony is a ritual of coming together and really taking that moment to reflect and really put importance into the actions that we're taking, and not simply let our lives pass us by, but really put import into every decision that we make, and this really fine attention to every decision at every moment, and sharing this with other people and making them aware of it too. All right, maybe a few more cards on everything. What you need to focus on right now, especially. Like, what is your number one thing that you need to focus on? Dog. Okay, I think that this is a great card. I think because this is saying, like, there's something that you need to nurture. And a dog, I mean, a wolf could take care of itself, right? But a dog, especially this one, look at this little Bichon Frise, he's just pathetic, right? He can't feed himself, he can't like fill up his own water dish, right? You need to nurture this dog and pamper it and do like feed it, and it can't even feed itself, right? You need to like portion out its food in little cups, measuring cups, because if you let it just eat the whole bag of kibble itself, it'll literally just keep eating until it dies, right? So I get the sense that this is some aspect in yourself that you need to nurture and really take control over, because when you let it just go and run on its own, it's getting into so much trouble, like it's eating your couch, it's chewing on the drywall and all that nonsense. So I get the sense that you really need to be a good dog parent to this part of yourself and not just let it hurt itself by being completely unsupervised and untrained. All right, and maybe like what's one action that you can do to find direction in your life? Cake. Okay, so I get the sense that this relates to the celebration of achievements. So I think that what this is telling you is to really take note of the achievements in your life and things that you're really proud of yourself for doing, because I think that this is something very hard for you to do. Like maybe there's been times in your life where you worked through a really hard situation, project, or circumstance that you've been put in, and it was just like struggling and suffering, and you worked so hard, and when it was over, it was just kind of anticlimactic, like, oh, it's done now. Like maybe you didn't take the proper moment to really celebrate that wonderful achievement and all the hard work that you put in. So I get the sense that this cake card is really telling you to make a list of the things that you're most proud of in your life and those big accomplishments, and not necessarily on a societal level like graduations or that sort of thing, but really these achievements that mean a lot to you, and that honestly, if you share this list with other people, it just might not even make sense to them, or maybe there's certain achievements that are so personal that you just can't even talk about them to other people. So I get the sense that this is going to be a very personal, reflective list of achievements. And I also think that a cake is shared, right? So I get the sense that you're also sharing in the achievements of the people close to you. And maybe it could be great to have some sort of formal celebration, like a party, in order to share in everyone's achievements and remind everyone that it's very important to congratulate yourself through this difficult journey of life. Okay, and maybe let's do one more card on fixing everything in your life. The final card. This is the most important one. The final card to everything. Okay, alien. Okay, so I get the sense that what this is telling you is that if you really want change in your life, if you completely feel like you're just at the standstill, you're indecisive, you don't know what you want, I think you need to accept that change is coming for you and that change is going to flip your life upside down. Because I think that a lot of people claim that they're kind of bored with their life and they just need change. But when it really comes down to it, they're terrified of change. But I think what you need to understand is that the essence of life is change. Like, everything is constantly in flux. Everything is temporary. Things just arise and fall in the moment. Like, nothing in life is going to remain unchanging. But if you have this sort of subconscious belief, or perhaps even a conscious belief, that change is equated to suffering, you're not going to be able to experience life in its truest form. So I think that what this card is really telling you is to accept new things and new experiences, new ways of living. Like, if you really want your life to change like that, you must accept that your day-to-day life is going to look completely different from what it does now. Well, anyway, I hope that this video was a little bit helpful to you. It was definitely a lot of fun to do, and I really appreciate my viewers and Instagram followers for submitting requests on topics. I'll definitely be addressing a few more of those in the future. And I'm sorry that the cards are getting kind of repetitive because there is a limited amount of them because I ran out of index cards, and I do have to get more index cards at the dollar store, but today is the 1st of July, and that means it's no buy July. And this is a fun challenge that I'm taking part of, which is don't buy anything except like the essentials like rent and medication and all that, right? And for me, I've made an exception, which is that I will be spending only cash acquired through tips at a grocery co-op because I do in fact need to eat food. But this is the exception I've made for myself. I feel like if you're good at scrounging food, like it's honestly pretty easy to do, especially if you work in the food industry. Like you really don't need to be buying restaurant food if you work at a restaurant. So anyway, I really encourage you to maybe give No Buy July a little bit of a try, perhaps just for a week, and really consider how you could be more frugal in your life and how being more frugal actually makes you appreciate your day-to-day existence instead of really being fueled by these materialistic drives to make more money so you can spend more money. Well, anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.